Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Today is September 4th, and today I wanted to take some time to go over with you the my.udc.edu website because, as you can see, it does look different than it did when we last had a video and when we last spoke about it, maybe yesterday even. So just taking a look at this, some people might get a little bit overwhelmed, so I want to make sure to make a video to make sure that you're comfortable accessing everything you need to be successful this semester and beyond. Because the great news is everything you need is still here. It's just a little bit different in terms of the way it looks and in terms of the way or what you might click on to access what you need. So the first thing to look at is on the left side, you've got all these cute little apps. So you've got the home app, which of course would bring you back to where we are right now. Quick launch, which also has a option up here. This will take you to various student tools, including Blackboard. So Blackboard is here. AACT, this is where you get information about your academics. So on this page, I don't know if you've ever used it before, but it shows you your schedule, so your class information, your teachers, what date and times they at least officially meet. It also shows you, who's on your team to help you be successful, including the student advisor that we have as cohort students. You can schedule an appointment with Mrs. Glenn, who is our cohort advisor. And then you can also view reports and calendars about anything else that's going on, as far as what's due, when you have classes, all that awesome stuff, at least officially when you have classes, because, note that whatever your teacher tells you is more, please go with that over, what necessarily might show up in this calendar. At least, especially right now while we're meeting, online and things are a little bit different. So this is one thing you've got going. So I'm going to close this out. That's AACT, by the way. So the academic calendar, this is where the official dates for everything that we have on, like, for example, what is the first day of classes? What's the last day to withdraw from classes? What's the last day of classes? When are you supposed to sit for exams as a non-senior? When are grades due? All this information is in this academic calendar. So whenever you want to know, where the font of knowledge is that all the dates are being dropped from, this is where I go to get woke, and I would recommend you use it too. And yes, I just said woke because it's early in the morning, why not? But yeah, this is definitely a good source. I would definitely recommend bookmarking it because it's just useful. And this is one of the best sources that we have for information about when things are happening. Even midterms and stuff are listed on here, when midterm grades are due, holidays that we have off, etc. Speaking of which, let's take a look at Labor Day. I'm going to do a search for Labor Day. So September 7th, 2020, Labor Day. So the university is closed. So therefore, there will be no classes. September 8th, this is the official day that classes started. So if you had classes that started earlier because you are taking education classes, some of the things like midterm dates, absolutely refer to what your teacher is saying because it's not going to match what the rest of the university is doing this semester. The other tools on here, like Handshake, this is from the career services. It can help you connect to employers. My account, I believe you can change your password and other stuff from here, but let's just take, yeah, exactly. So we're not going to go into that, but that's what you can do from there. Office 365 dashboard. This is where you can see all the different apps that you have available to you as a student, through my, through your account as it being registered with myUDC. So any papers you've written and saved through OneDrive, because OneDrive is a great way to keep your computer from getting bogged down. It's just like the iCloud. You can put the data and documents here as opposed to saving them on your computer and taking a memory on your computer. But so I'm not going to go through the student's information, of course, but this is just what you have. These are some of the things you have available. If you click on Office 365, this is where you can get right into your email. And over on the left-hand side, you can also access those same apps that we just saw on the Office 365 dashboard. You can click all apps and it'll pull up the whole dashboard. But these are usually the ones that most people and most students need, which is PowerPoint, Word, Excel, if you're making a table and don't want to just make it in Word, and OneDrive. And then some of the other things are related to, directories and submitting a Help Hub ticket. A Help Hub ticket would be if you needed IT support. You can also contact support by clicking on this little link down here. But these are just, two different ways to have it, work for you. So we've gone through, that is our quick launch. This is the next thing that you probably have apps in that you have seen and worked with, which is Banner Self-Service. Now, previously on the way that UDC used to work, you guys used to go down and click on that little student self-service link that's next to that purple E. Well, this is where that is moved to. So you just click on quick launch, you go to underneath quick launch and go to banner self-service, and that pulls up everything you need to see your student records, your admissions information, registration, all that stuff. All that awesome stuff. And then also that, if you look here, it's also right up here on the right-hand side as well. So, and then similarly, the home screen is right here too. So you can get right back to home. So these first three are also duplicated over here. And then this, just to finish going off of this upper right little mini menu of apps, we've also got the bell, which is for notifications. So if there's anything new that the university wanted to tell you, they would probably put it up there in the notifications. And maybe you might see like a little one next to it. I'm just assuming that's usually how notifications go. So I'm assuming that. But if it doesn't happen that way, I'm sorry for guessing, but I do that sometimes. So for student apps, let's take a look. So you can see your courses, you can look up classes, holds, final grades, register classes. Obviously, this is not something that you would do as a cohort student because, that is taken care of for you by the department to make sure that you end up in the classes with the rest of your colleagues in the cohort. So to keep you aligned with everybody in the cohort, you don't usually sign yourself up for classes. Academic transcript, this right now doesn't seem to be fully working, but this would ideally give you the same information as if you went to banner self-service and pulled up your transcript. Account summary, that's financial aid, that's financial. COVID-19, this is all the data related to things that are going on with the campus and them responding to, the COVID issues. And so when you click on home, actually, if you click on home here, this takes you to this, interesting. And when you click on this takes you to COVID. So that's an interesting little thing to keep in mind. The two homes are actually not working the same. So I just discovered that. And then there's other resources. So if you're looking for food, access sites, waste and volunteer, etc., this is something you can click on. This talks about how to wear COVID masks, CDC regulations. So just some things to keep in mind. I'm sure, working in childcare, you guys have probably heard a lot about that. So, but still, it never hurts to know more. And then, anything else that you might need related to COVID. Student support contact, this is an important one for you guys, potentially. Talk about, the academic affairs, or academic advisors, I'm sorry. And this would be the one that you would need for as students with the community college. And they have, facts, which is frequently asked questions, contacts, and then also about, anybody dealing with a mental health issue related to, anxieties, etc. Anything else really, but if it's mental health and wellness related, this is, where to go. And then ARC, this is the Accessibility Resource Center for anybody who needs an accommodation. Just because we're off of campus and working remotely does not mean that you do not have access to any sort of resources that you might need as a student with special needs, learning differences, etc. And in this location, you might be able to even get, if you're somebody who has a documented disability designation and you need to get like a physical textbook, for example, to, go along with whatever's going on with, the part of the diagnosis relates to needing a physical textbook. This is something to definitely keep in mind if that is your situation. So please keep that in mind. And then employees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a bunch of things here that are not necessarily going to relate to you, but How Do I is a great one. How Do I gives you information about the various resources and how to use them. And these are various links to things that they can train you on. So for example, learn more about Microsoft Business Applications. So how do you use Microsoft 365? This is a teaching tool. You can watch those videos. Submit work orders. File a police report if that's ever something you need to do, etc. All these things are listed up here, so just keep that in mind. And then the next one I wanted to show you was UDC Live TV. This is live streaming TV about the university, and then social media. So if you wanted to view anything about UDC or even join various websites or stay connected that way, you can do it through there. And then administrative apps. This is where you can set your user preferences related to how you get notified. So for example, if you're not always getting your emails from UDC, you might want to enable your text messages to come through about about university updates and stuff that way, because if you're not always seeing the emails that are being sent out, it might just be a way to stay on top of things and make sure you're not missing anything important that relates to you. Messaging, this doesn't yet seem to be fully updated, but just keep an eye on that. It might be something interesting or useful one day. So these are pretty much the main things that you really need to, at this stage to be successful. So the key ones to recap would be quick access, or quick launch, I'm sorry, because this is where you'll see your academic progress, your academic calendar, and Blackboard, Office 365, and Office 365 dashboard. Both of these are related to your email, and then to accessing Word and the other important apps. Changing your password, if you ever wanted to do that for any reason, you can go here and do that. And then here's another biggie. I don't think I talked about this, but student forms. This is an important one, because if you're getting notifications at any stage about financial aid, please complete this. And even if you aren't getting notices about financial aid, you need to complete this, because UDC is going to ask you potentially to complete documents related to your FAFSA. And if you don't have this account set up, you might just one day get a message saying, oh, we haven't received this document that we requested from you, because all the requests for those documents pretty much are going to be listed here. Where you upload the documents is going to be happening here. So that is the key stuff that you need in here. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me, or you can text me, of course. And you can also just feel free to leave the comments in the comment section on these videos, this video and the other ones. Absolutely feel free. So thanks for watching.